News when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Nathan Hager.
And I'm Karen Moskow.
Karen, we begin with the push to end the war in Ukraine. White House Special Envoy Steve Witkoff is in Moscow today. He is set to meet with Russian President Vladimir Putin to discuss the latest proposal to end the fighting. This follows weekend negotiations with Ukrainian officials in Florida. This morning, the Kremlin says President Trump's son-in-law Jared Kushner will attend today's talks as well. We get more from Bloomberg's Balazs Pens.
It's been a period of very intense diplomacy with some very, very high-level, high-stakes meetings ever since the publication of President Trump's 28-point plan to bring a halt to this war. And as we have heard from President Zelensky, it does seem like the U.S. and Ukraine are now at least in broad agreement over the outlines of the plan, and the two sides were able to get something that's closer to what they want to see.
It's Bloomberg's Balazs Pens. And ahead of today's talks, Putin claimed that Russian troops have taken over the city of Pokrovsk in Ukraine's eastern Donbas region. Ukraine's military denies it, says fighting is still ongoing in the city. Bloomberg News has been unable to verify either claim, but a takeover would be Russia's most significant battlefield advance in nearly 2 years.
Well, Nathan, a military strike on this side of the world is continuing to draw scrutiny. Now the White House is defending Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth following a Washington Post report that he ordered everyone killed on a suspected drug-running boat in the Caribbean. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt is confirming there was a second strike on the vessel.
The strike conducted on September 2nd was conducted in self-defense to protect Americans in vital United States interests. The strike was conducted in international waters and in accordance with the law of armed conflict.
And White House spokeswoman Caroline Leavitt says the strike was ordered by Navy Admiral Frank Bradley, not Hegseth. Lawmakers are pressing for hearings on the second strike. Adam Smith is the top Democrat on the House Armed Services Committee.
Admiral Bradley's coming in this week to talk to us. That's, I think, where we're going to first get the information. And then I think we should go higher up the chain of command.
Democratic Congressman Adam Smith spoke to ABC News, and reports of the second strike have led to accusations of war crimes in the Trump administration's deadly anti-cartel campaign.
Turning to markets now, Karen, futures are higher this morning, but yesterday stocks kicked off the month of December with losses. The S&P 500 dropped 0.5%. Cameron Dawson is Chief Investment Officer at New Edge Wealth.
If the riskiest parts of the market are starting to show a bit more risk-off tone, it raises questions about an equity market that's trading at very high valuations. But we would note that if you look at positioning metrics for the S&P and broader equities, they still remain just neutral or even underweight for some investors. So we're still of the camp that any dips are likely to be bought rather quickly, but that doesn't mean that you won't get volatility along the way.
New Edge Wealth's Cameron Dawson. December is historically a good month for stocks. According to CFRA, since 1990, the S&P 500 recorded its second best average price return in December.
Well, we're seeing some stabilization in the cryptocurrency markets this morning, Nathan, following yesterday's 5% sell-off in Bitcoin. And right now, Bitcoin, it's higher. It's up 0.9%. It's at $87,300. Bloomberg Intelligence Mike McClone says it may be heading lower.
Right now, Bitcoin's about 15% below its 50-week moving average. It's rolled over. And the S&P 500 is 12% above its same moving average. We have never had Bitcoin drop at this velocity since futures were launched in 2017 without the stock market falling. And that might mean the Bitcoin's set to be the Grinch that stole Christmas.
And Mike McClone with Bloomberg Intelligence says Bitcoin could fall as low as $50,000 before the end of the year. And that's news when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Karen Moskow.
I'm Nathan Hager, and this is Bloomberg.